Hi, everybody. I'm Target 12 investigator Tim White, along with my colleague Steve Nielsen. We have major developments in a long-running cold case murder. In fact, Steve, it was your first cold case report in your cold case card series. What do we know?
Well, yeah, we started covering these cold cases just a few months ago. This was the first one we covered. 1988, Christine Cole was murdered on January 6th of that year. We've now learned in the last 12 hours there's been an arrest made in this investigation. Yao Montero was the person who was arrested by Pawtucket police overnight. The Attorney General's office confirming that they will have an arraignment for him at 2 o'clock. The details about what we know took place, his role in all of this, we don't have that information right now. That hasn't been confirmed.
This is a 30-year-old cold case, but at the time in 1988, this was a huge story. Remind people who Christine Cole was.
She's 10 years old. She was growing up in Pawtucket. She had a hard life, and she was starting to become more independent. She wanted to do a little bit more with her life. So her mom said that she could go to the store and get clams and milk for dinner. So she left her West Avenue home. She went to go get clams and milk. She stopped to get gumballs at a store on the way, which only just proves how young this girl is, right?
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
That's the last time she was ever seen alive. 54 days later, on February 21st, her body was found washed ashore in Connecticut Point Beach. The medical examiner at the time didn't rule it a homicide because they just didn't have enough details about the case at that point, and it had been so long that they didn't have a lot of physical evidence to say that. But they added this case to the deck of cards. Pawtucket detective Sue Cormier, when she created this deck to get more tips and leads, this was one of the cases that really got her excited to be able to try to solve this one. She made her the Queen of Hearts, as you can see behind us here, and she said at the time it's because she wasn't a queen in her real life. So she wanted to make her a queen now and try to bring attention and leads to this case. She told me at the time I interviewed Detective Cormier, she said she felt this was a solvable case. She felt like she was close. And now here we are just a few months after our investigation, and there's been an arrest.
What a huge break for the Pawtucket Police Department in a big case. Sometimes people link this one to another murder in Central Falls, Michelle Norris.
Yeah, Michelle Norris, she was 7 years old when she was killed just 4 months after Christine Cole was killed. So they're very similar in age, young girls, they look similar.
But no indication that these are tied together just yet?
No, there's been no indication, but that's been something that people have always theorized about. There's been a lot of investigation discovery types of shows and cold case shows throughout the years that have tried to link these two cases together. No indication that this arrest is tied to that one in any way.
All right, Steve Nielsen is going in depth on these cold cases with a series that we call 12 on 12 that is debuting next week, correct?
On Wednesday, yes.
All right, look for that right here on WPRI.com. And Steve right now is going to be running out of the studio. He has to go to a press conference in Pawtucket. So obviously this is a developing story. He'll have the latest on Eyewitness News live at 5 o'clock and right here on WPRI.com.